Nancy.
Hi, Frank.
Thank you so much for coming to the show
Thank
to
you for
host it.
having me.
Yes, yes. So let's fire away right away. What is your disagreement when you read my note?
Well, I mean, living in America and not experience, because I never lived in the South. I've never um, experienced direct racism or hatred or anything like that. And I've never lived under the Jim Crow laws. But we read it in books. We see it in movies. Spike Lee has definitely made some great movies on living in the South or how to or people experiencing Jim Crow and or living in the Jim Crow area. So when I've heard this topic or this subject on there's no such thing as white supremacy, I said, well, what about the Aryan race or the Brotherhood? What about the KKK? Aren't they part of the white supremacy group? Aren't these the folks who made it very difficult for black people in the South during the Jim Crow era and the civil rights? You know, these are actual a system that was in place for white people or people who were in power to make it very difficult for people of color.
Yes, it is. Everything you've said is true. When I say there's no such thing as white supremacy, I'm simply asking people to help define for me. When you use the word white supremacy, you're saying that white people think, or you're saying they are superior or supreme? Because the word supremacy, I think, comes from the fact that somebody is supreme. So is it an affirmation? Is it a question? Or is it an accusation? What is it when they say white supremacist?
Well, that's a good evaluation. I would say white supremacy, from from the way I see it, or the way it's been defined to me, or maybe the way I evaluate the whole concept, is a group of white people believing that they're superior and they don't want any exchange with people like me or people of color. Or it could be extended to other
Okay,
folks as
so
well.
a certain group of white people who believe that they are superior,
Yes,
you said. And where might we find these kind of statements made by one particular person, a group of people? Where is it? Are they the ones saying it? Because when I came to the United States of America, just like you said, I came to the United States of America, I never heard. I've lived in a white town for 5 years, Westport, and I've lived in a black or mixed town, which is Bridgeport, and I've traveled in the United States. I've never met a white person who said to me or to anybody or I hear say, I'm superior, therefore you can sit in my car. So where did it start? Who said it? Who said that, okay, what does the white supremacy do? You see, when people have to, when you say something like atheists and theists have only two things. Atheist says, I can't see God, therefore there is no God, right? A theist would then try to, say he hasn't revealed himself to you. One, white supremacist, is this an institution? Is it a building? Do they go to work? Do they have a hierarchy? What do they do on a daily basis? And what do they do that affect people, as you said, negatively? Who said white supremacy? The white men said it, or we made a conclusion that their behavior is because they think they are superior?
So, I mean, I don't know when the term was actually coined, white supremacy, but that's what they've been called for
Yes.
since the 19th century.
That's correct.
That's what they've been called,
Yes.
and so this is what we call them as well.
That's correct. That is what they've been called. Every time people find themselves in a situation they think they've been oppressed, of course they have to find a word to describe the other person so you can identify him as the one you're talking about. But I am saying, if the people have not continuously built an institution, a building, a place, somebody is paid, they have a hierarchy, continuously saying, you mentioned the KKK. I've been to their headquarters when I used to work in Shelton, and I've gone on their website. They simply said that they believe that white should remain white. They don't want to mix their race, and therefore they don't encourage interracial marriage. They want to, just like the Koreans are doing today, just like the Japanese and the Chinese and Indians all over. There is nothing suggesting that therefore the Koreans are superior or they say they are superior to you.
So the Aryan Brotherhood doesn't say or promote that they are that they are superior?
Well, even if a group of, the other day I was invited to come to an award called Black Excellence. Well, if you are excellent, then everybody else is what? In the 70s we had, I'm black and proud. Black is beautiful. We went around Muhammad Ali and everybody saying, I'm superior to you and I can show it to you either in boxing, in running, and in the other. So even if people say that, a group of people, but it's not an institution sanctioned by a government. We don't make laws and pay taxes to the white supremacists every year. So even if a group of people, black people, say, we are the best thing God ever made, Millennium College is better than everybody, we say it all the time. But just because you're saying it doesn't mean that it's an institution, I can see it, it does anything to me. So why do we keep repeating the word? You know, like when somebody say, for example, you've heard this, he doesn't like me because of my skin color. Who said that? Is it the person who did the hating or the person who was hated? Who said he didn't like me because of my skin color?
The person who's being hated.
That's correct. Does that make it true? You didn't ask the person who did the hating. You wanted something to show why he had that behavior. Does it make it true? So I've seen plenty enough white supremacists. Yes, of course, if you live in America, from all the things you described, Jim Crow law, slavery, and all the things that happen to black people, very, very bad things. Bad things done by very cruel people. No human being should be exposed to such. But let's just call it what it is. It happened everywhere. It happened in India to what we call the untouchables. Badly treated. They live in less than animal conditions. It happened in Africa, in my own tribe. It happened in Rwanda. Blacks killing each other, not with guns, where it's quick, with blunt machetes and throwing babies into wells. Everywhere you look on earth, somewhere. In Europe, the Barbary gang tortured people. Women were killed in 1557, the witch hunt of England. Women were hanged and tortured. It has happened everywhere. But here, there is a difference. Black people see white people all the time. And just the distinction in the colors makes you angry because it reminds you something happened. You got to find a name to call them. Of their behavior, they think. I believe, if you ask me, white supremacist is an affirmation. We are trying to affirm that they are superior.
But don't they affirm themselves? They're the ones who gave themselves that title.
No,
right?
I haven't seen anywhere where a white man wrote a website or they have a business or an institution, a school where they said, hey, by the way, we are superior and we are in this. And we come to work every day to just let you know who is paid, who's doing that, where can I find it?
So there's a group out there that's called the Patriot Front.
Yeah.
They call themselves white supremacists.
I don't believe so.
No?
During the route of North Charlottesville, we refer to them, we have the Antifa. They say they are anti-fascist. We add all kinds of adjectives just to make them look bad as much as it can. By the way, let me accept it for this discussion. If the Patriots, is that what they called, or the Proud Boys?
The Proud Boys.
Okay. If they said...
And there's also the Patriot Front.
Right.
That's what they're called.
If they said, we are superior. But that doesn't mean that therefore whites are white supremacy. It's a group of people who believe this is the word we want to use to describe ourselves. That doesn't mean that there is an institution, a government sanction, a group sanction, a vote affirmed fact that there is such a thing. There is bad behavior. White people have behaved badly colonizing people. Africans have behaved badly colonizing and buying tribes, people from tribes as slaves. Indians have behaved badly creating an untouchable class of people who suffered for years. The Barbary gang of Northern Europe did bad things by buying people and the Ottoman Empire, name a place on earth. Why? Only in America should the same behavior of Indians, of the Northern Europeans, of Africans, when a white man does it here, therefore you are a white supremacist. That is what I mean.
These are groups that say they want to segregate themselves from every other race, and they want to be alone because they feel like their race is pure.
Yes.
And their race, so you're agreeing that their race is pure too?
No, I'm saying opinions. Okay. Yes, you are listening to opinions of people. Yes.
So they believe that, no, I don't want to live near you.
Yes.
I want to live in a segregated area.
Why are you affirming, therefore, these people are white supremacists? You're just affirming it, that they are, yes, a group opinion, fine, but I'm saying, nowhere in the Constitution of America or today's laws and rulings when we have our representatives, has there been a stamp, an approval, a vote to say, yes, people in this country should recognize that we white people, it is nowhere. So even a group of people said it, like white can dance, White can jump. Black says it. Millennium, we have the best. We say it. But everybody says something. What you've just described is actually overtly and explicitly in South Korea, where I lived for 2 years. You cannot even just date and walk the streets of 1991 when I was in Korea. He doesn't have to be related to the woman. He will hit your head with an iron bar and you will die. They killed 2 American soldiers and a Filipino. Koreans believe in eugenism, what you've described. We don't want our to be mixed with anybody. You marry one, you go away with it. That's nothing wrong, that's what they want. But the Koreans are not saying, therefore, if you go to Flushing where the Koreans are, and because they don't like intermarrying with people, they're going to say Korean supremacy, even if a group of Koreans said it. Japanese said it back in the Second World War, telling all Asians, Japan is not just an Asian country, that they are actually superior. But that is not a national, nobody got hurt because somebody said that. And just because a group of people said something like that doesn't make it become an institution that I can see and touch and go there and find people. It's not there. It doesn't affect anybody's daily life in America. It's a lie. Because
so
one,
white supremacy does not?
No, it doesn't at all. They're Proud Boys. They go on the streets wearing hoods and drinking Mountain Dew, and they tattoo themselves with broken tooth. They don't affect anybody's life. What I'm trying to say is this: there are Asians who live Asians live in America. They're not white. We never find them on television crying that their business is not working well because of white supremacists. Middle Eastern people live in America. They're not white. Why is it that the white supremacists only affect black people and not the others who are not white?
So white supremacists don't go out and terror people. White supremacists don't go and lynch people. White supremacists don't go out and threaten people.
KKK, Americans did lynch people in the South during the slavery. KKK burned torches on people's lawns because they don't want you to be in their neighborhoods. I would describe it that way. A group of people did that. It's true.
Okay.
Yeah, but why do you keep saying white supremacist? So let me ask, maybe it's a grammar. When you say white supremacist, what do you mean?
A group of people who believe that they are superior than any other race.
So what does it mean when you repeat it, this white supremacist? What does it mean?
That's a good point.
Are you affirming what they have said? Because you see, I'm trying to say to you, because it has happened in my own tribe. There are people we know very well. We know in the Huegame district of Benin Republic, the Abome tribe, they founded the Women Warriors.
Okay.
Agoshe. They are powerful. My father's tribe, my mother's tribe, we are weaklings, okay? When they are coming, we bow down and say, take and go away. So we began to call them in a language you call here something like the hooligans. We made the names, these hooligans, because of what they do. We thank the French when they finally arrived. That was the only time they tamed them. So it's the same thing when you watch the behavior of white people, what they have done. Yes, you can make a name for them, but what you're doing is affirming. If these people can go out and colonize successfully for years and nobody ever succeeds colonizing them, if these people can go out and take over countries and buy slaves and hold them down, and, well, they must be good. Well, that's what I was brought up in Africa told. The whites are superior. It is my people who told me, not a white man.
I see.
It is my mom, my dad, my uncles, my community members, my teachers in Africa. Ask any Nigerian, ask any Beninois, ask any Togolese, unless they are lying. Anybody above the age of 50 knows in our folklore, in our music, we play it. Go and listen to Chalamanda. When I was a young boy, I want to go to America. They tell us that is the land of superior people. It's in my language, I can say it. Yovonudahe. Anybody who can understand Benin will tell you what I've just said, and they've heard it before. So when I arrive here, my people have already told me that white people are superior. But the things they have seen, airplanes flying, they said it's magic. Ships floating on the water, they said it's magic. Okay? So all these inventions, television came, no, we say, Yovonudahe. Anytime a radio is turned on and speaking and they say the person is from far, Yovonudahe. When we see a toy that can walk, we say the white man is so good, it's like God. He has done everything but put blood in a toy. That is what we say in Africa. Everybody knows what I'm saying. Do you know what they say in Ashanti land? The Ashantis have a saying, and I can speak Ashanti. Oh, kwa sorry, now share bronia, kofie wahunyame. If you are going to church and you meet a white guy, turn around and go home, you sing God. So white supremacy was created by us to describe something we're confused about.
So you're saying black folks created that name white supremacy?
That's correct, from Africa. from Africa because we are just amazed by the things they've done. Well, we describe them always by inventions. When you take a toy and the toy is talking and it's moving, you're like, oh my God. Because yes, my people are not sophisticated. You know.
Why would we call a white person a white supremacist if, you know, well, I think it's because we were enslaved.
No, not. It is just observing the mere industrialization of their environment, which we haven't done. That's all. They can command water from far away through tubes into their bedrooms. We can even fetch a bucket of water from the next lake, you will be drowned. They can put electricity. We never had one in Africa. They have airplanes fly over us. It's amazing. Everything they've done is the reason my people say these people are superior, not because of slavery. They came to colonize us and they brought things we have never seen before. They gave a king a mirror and he was dancing and sold his people away. They brought guns we have never seen, boom, and killed somebody right away. You know what they used to do in the Congo?
Right.
They put dynamite in the rocks and then they hide the switch. And then when they point their finger, it go boom. And the Congolese till today, they call the white man kiboom, the sound of the dynamite. And then they go down and they go like this. If they're not superior, why do you see every picture when the white men arrive in Africa, we're bowing to them? The Portuguese in my own town, Gele, all of these people, as soon as the Portuguese showed up, everybody was bowing. We have never seen a gun kill a human being. We have never seen a mirror. We have never seen a radio tune in and somebody speaking from England, the Queen's voice. So for us, all these things, these people must be really superior and close to God. They used to have a joke in Ghana that when God said, let's pray, the white man opened his eyes. The black people were covering his eyes. So the white man saw how God created the world. That's why they are so good at what they do. And I'm telling you, these are folklores from which we grew up. If anyone told you that white people came to Africa to tell us they're superior, it's a lie. They never said that.
So what should we call these groups?
Which groups? You call them what they are. What is BLM? Is it a black superiority? Supremacy? No. What did they say they are?
It's an advocacy group.
Yeah, it's an advocacy group. The Proud Boys advocacy group fighting for something.
Well, they're also called white nationalists. Would you be comfortable to call them white nationalists?
Anybody who said his organization is a white nationalist, I'll say fine. I'm a nationalist if I was living in Benin. Yeah, if you call somebody and ask him that stupid question, are you superior? What is the answer you expect him to tell you? If you ask me, I'll say, yes, you said it.
Which is true.
Yes, when Jesus Christ was questioned, did you say you're the Son of God? He said to Pontius Pilate, you just said it.
Yeah, he said, I'm the Son of
We
God.
say these names, Nancy, just so we feel relieved that, yes, this is why you're behaving that way. You think you're superior. Anytime somebody think you think you're too pretty, he's confirming you are pretty.
Or you think you're all that.
That's correct. He's confirming you are all that. But he won't say you think. He said he thinks he's all that. Did he
And
tell
that's
you?
confirmation.
That's his self-affirmation, pure and simple.
I see.
Yes. We have to just stop saying it.
Who should stop saying? Everyone?
Yeah,
Media?
you and I. Right now, we've agreed
Well-
that it's just not a good thing to say, you know.
Yes, but the media and authors, they're constantly,
Well-
whenever you click white supremacy, it just comes
Yes.
up. It's everywhere.
Yes.
And
the
this is
same
how they
thing. We've said it
describe-
in so many things, yes, okay? You can't, nobody is bold enough to go on television and say, black people does this. An old man who's a very good friend of mine said to me, I can't say it, Frank. I said, what is it you can't say? Are these kids in the classroom just lazy? They don't know, they don't want to do the work? I said, I don't know.
And he's describing what kids?
Black kids.
Okay.
Yes. So that is, you want to call the group by what they say they are, call that particular group. Black Lives Matter said they want to turn the whole thing upside down because they believe Black Lives Matter. Well, if you really do matter, you don't need a placard to tell me. Everybody would know it. The diamond doesn't need to tell you, I'm a precious material. It will never put a sign on itself. You know it is, no matter where you put it. Anybody,
Well, I think with BLM, the reason why they did that is because they felt like with socioeconomic and so many issues in black history, they feel like black lives don't matter. And so they felt like they needed to call it something
very true,
so that
very true.
they get the awareness.
The only
and the
problem with that
attention.
proclamation they made is that they never was able to point to any of us a place on earth where black are treated as if they matter.
That's another show.
Yes, it is another show. You see, so the goal of Rethink, Project Rethink, is simple: to be able to question the conclusions. As you can see, I have not told you, I just said there is no such thing. And I have used questions to punch holes in the conclusions. Like you said, I have read it in books, I've seen it on television.
It's everywhere.
It's everywhere, except
we have...
Just like Santa Claus, he's everywhere in December, except you never meet him in a restaurant, sitting down and saying hi to you.
Right.
But everywhere you look, it's there.
So,
kids believe he's real until you reach 14. I think we have reached 14. We should stop believing that there is white supremacy, because psychologically it's doing harm to our children and to us. Anything you repeat. You see, what is funny is this. You think the children of the person you are calling white supremacists, when they hear it, they're like, ouch, no.
Right.
Say, wow, my people kick ass.
Right.
So if they are supreme, what are you?
We're building their confidence.
You're building their confidence, and you're telling your children that these people kick ass. They are superior. They're not reading into it. So the analogy I just gave, he behaves, he thinks he knows all that. Yes, he's affirming that what he has heard from you, you know a lot. She thinks she's pretty. Yes. Otherwise, you would have said, you're not pretty. You would have told the white man, you are not superior, if he had said so to you. You wouldn't even repeat what he said because it's nonsensical.
Frank, if you had students or children, how would you tell your children to describe these type of groups? Not calling them white supremacists, but what name would you give these type of groups? White people who would like to segregate themselves and do not want to be a part of colored.
You've just named the words. They are segregationists.
So you would call them just segregationists?
If they say they want to segregate, that is the word. Call them that. If a guy said, I like drinking, call him a drunkard.
Okay.
If a guy said, I beat women, call him a violent man. They like to segregate. There is nothing negative. There's nothing wrong with it. We call it comfort zone. I was traveling recently. I was waiting at Johannesburg airport, and I heard this guy say some words. It's not my language, just West African language I know. Dude, I jump out of my seat. I don't know him from anywhere. And I tap him, he turn around, I say the same word. We hug each other for 3 minutes based on just a word that is familiar to both of us. It's a comfort zone.
Comfort.
Yes, we all seek comfort zones, people who look like you. I've been to places where I saw very prominent black politicians from Bridgeport. And while they're there, it's all white people, you know, one of these fundraisers. And you see him sitting outside smoking. Then when he saw me, oh, thank God, one of us is here. And it's immediately, what is wrong? Is he wrong? Is he supremacist? No.
It's a comfort.
It's a comfort zone. White people don't know us. If you go to Japan, they used to tell me when I'm entering restaurants, we've closed. Dude, I'm sitting down there seeing people go in. Are they racist? Yes, African Americans who pack their bag and leave the next day, they think they are racist. No. Japanese avoid confrontation at any cost, conflict. They don't like it.
So you're saying?
They don't know how to deal with you because they don't know. They think you have a different culture. And because they think their culture is so unique, take off your shoes, don't do this, everything in Japan. So instead of you, one person coming in and disturbing our establishment, I'm
how
closed.
did they know I was going to disturb their establishment?
Well, I don't have to try it. I just know you're not Japanese. So I don't know how to serve you, you don't know how to serve me. It's a whole lot of things they're trying to prevent. That is not racism.
But at the end of the day, I'm a human being.
No,
you don't know how to serve a human being?
No. Human being is simply you have 2 legs and you have 2 hands hanging. That is human being. Culture is different.
So if a Middle Eastern woman walked in there, they would have served her?
No, not necessarily. They've turned out white people. Actually,
they've turned...
Yes, because white guys don't wash their socks. And you take your shoes in a restaurant and they sit like this. Japanese, you don't show the inside of your thing. It's a Buddhist thing. Imagine a Buddhist culture allowing everybody. You have no more culture left.
I see. It'll be washed out.
Yes. And who wants to do that? Indians live in this country. How many Indians do you see walking around with black guys or with white guys? They marry each other because they understand it's a culture. It's a comfort zone. You can act properly and do properly. You don't have to... I'm not saying all of them, but it's not enough for me to be talking about the exception, right? There are exceptions. But when you look at India, do you see them interested in going out and marrying some white guy and black guy and green guys? No. If they can, they marry each other. Look at Koreans. You went to school in Washington. Korean girls who come to university, stay there. If they don't see a Korean to date, good. I'll graduate and go back. I'll find one. Only Japanese women will go out and marry, but not a Japanese man. In China, not a Japanese man, but in China, not Chinese men, but maybe Chinese women sometimes. Yes, it's a comfort zone. You can manipulate it. They have communities here. Only we don't have communities.
Frank, you definitely dissect this well for me. I really believed at some point, yes. Well, in the beginning of this show, I really thought, yes, there is something called white supremacists because these are a group of folks who don't want to be with anyone else but themselves. And they don't have the same culture as us, or they don't have the same culture as the rest of the United States.
Yeah.
The United States is a melting pot and very different in religious views, political views.
To be honest, I view it as a respect when they do that. It's a man admitting to you, I don't have the ability to adapt to other people. That's all he's telling you. Leave me alone. How big is the United States? Why do you want to just go there?
Why did I want to go where?
No, not you.
Oh.
Yeah, the people who say they want to segregate. I respect them. That is a very painful admission. He's telling you, I don't have the ability to adapt. He doesn't have to make you to know I've seen black culture. Our dance forms, no other culture. Very aggressive and forceful. The way we laugh, the way we enjoy. When are these?
Wait, but isn't that pure, like, so the way I looked at white supremacists is, it's not that they not only not want to be with you, but they don't like you. They don't hate you. They don't like your
Well,
customs.
that's your
they don't
feeling.
like your culture.
No, anybody who says I don't want to play with you, you feel he doesn't like me.
Good point.
Yes, that is your feeling. Who wants to be rejected? I can't see anything on your face but hatred. Once you say, you're not careful to want to know why. Until I met the mayor of my town, Hoyashi, in Japan, and I told my mayor, why when I'm going to Japanese restaurants, they tell me away. When I go to the, ryokan, they tell me away, and he said, no, they're not racist. We become jittery when we don't know how to interact. It's called xenophobia. You don't want to look stupid. In Japanese, they just want to be perfect all the time.
Okay.
If I'm going to serve this man and I make a mistake, my face is down. So rather, avoid it. So he gave me a word to use, which is a greeting that says, I am sorry for being a burden on you. And it changed everything.
So once you said that,
Yes. She knows that
but I wouldn't
understand.
want to walk around thinking that I'm a burden.
Well, then stay in your country. Don't go anywhere.
Well, I
Because
want
there
to
is
visit. I
There
want
is something
to.
called multicultural communication, multicultural understanding, multicultural. We teach it. It's very expensive. You think it's there for nothing? It's there to prepare you to know where you're going and how to make the larger community feel comfortable. Not for them to make you feel comfortable. You buy that comfort.
So because you don't know how to serve me, I need to dumb down.
No. It's not a dumbing down. That's a very American, and
I'm
you
basically,
are. You
I'm
are.
basically saying I'm so sorry that you cannot serve me.
You have come to.
But can you serve me?
No, you've come to disturb what we call disturb.
Disturb.
A status quo, a functioning status quo. You, if you are a man of conscience, you know that I am different. I cannot expect the majority to disorganize themselves to accommodate me. I have to find that accommodation, make them feel that I come with knowledge about you. So when they say...
But don't they know I'm traveling to their country? Don't they know that there are, visitors, there's people coming?
Yeah, there are foreign hotels. We call them foreign hotels. Go there. You go in.
To stay at the Marriott?
That's correct. That's why we have the ryokan. Ryokan is traditional Japanese hotels.
Okay.
You take off your shoes and your clothes at the door, standing naked, and a woman will give you what is called yukata, and you wear it.
Okay.
You understand? And then you wear sneakers. The whole bamboo floor is polished. You can eat from it. You all, men and women, have to take a shower in one spring water, okay? Warm spring. Sit and I wash your bag. Western people are not comfortable doing that. So don't come here. But out of curiosity, some of we foreigners want to go there. And then it has caused problem already. The woman won't behave this way if there hasn't been a precedent to this. You understand what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
People segregate because they know something already.
They know what? They know as a black person that...
They have had situations where maybe they were not, able to... Look, even in the United States, you go to a predominant suburbia town, restaurant, there's going to be a problem soon.
Why is that?
Why are you asking me something you know already?
We have black people who live in suburban area and
I
they're
am not
fine.
saying the exception, I'm saying largely. We go there, we want to talk loud as when we come to quiet you down, lady, don't talk to me like that, you have a problem. Let's admit that. Sensible people do it. When I go anywhere and I'm the minority, I have to admit that there is a status quo that has been working. and now I'm here to disturb it. Yes, it's
So I must behave.
Not behave, if you want to call it those words. You just have to be aware that people are feeling uncomfortable because they want to be right.
I see. Well, Frank,
Well,
you definitely dissected this well for me.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for
You're
the
a good
opportunity.
host. I look forward to another one. Please do
Yes,
come on the
definitely.
next time.